Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in the last video we talked about the different type of data sets available in DLT. In this video we will see how we can perform expectations on top of those data sets. Okay, and in the DLT world these expectations are actually the data quality checks. Okay, so if you remember in the initial Spark notebooks, right, we used to create our own functions, our own data quality checks, right, and then we used to call those functions. But in the DLT you will have those functions predefined available for you and you can use it. Okay, so when I talk about these expectations, right, how you can use it and what all components it has, let's try to understand first that one. Okay, so first of all, these expectations are nothing but your data quality checks. Okay, so don't get confused. Expectations are data quality checks. Now these expectations has three main components in it, or it consists of three things basically. The first one is your description. Okay, like what this expectation is all about, right? You can pass your description. The second one is your boolean condition. Okay, so if you wanted to perform some conditions, right, for your data quality checks, you can have your conditions placed there, and then rest everything will be taken care by the framework itself. Okay, now this condition will internally gives true or false value to the delta life table. Okay, and based on this true or false value, the next components come into the picture known as actions. Okay, so it will take these values true or false and then it will perform an action on top of it. Okay, now again in the DLT this action can be segregated into three conditions, three different type of actions basically you can say. Okay, the first one is you can think of as a warning, where you have a bad record but you don't want to stop your pipeline or fail your pipeline or delete that record, but you just wanted to highlight that, saying that this is the record which is an invalid record. Okay, so it means the target table will have that record available with some comments. Okay, you can add some comment, a column with the comment something, right, by which you can filter it out. Okay, this was the bad record. Okay, it is there in the target, right? So you don't want to remove that record, you just wanted to highlight it. That's why I called it warning. Okay, and to define this you can use expect. Okay, that is the syntax you have to use. Inside expect you can use description here and then condition here. Okay, so this is the syntax. Now the next one is I can say drop. Okay, the syntax for drop is expect or drop. You need to use this, you need to define description again and the condition. Okay, what it will do, it will remove or it will drop that record directly. So in the target table you will see only the correct values. Okay, not the one which has some bad records. So the bad records will be deleted, will be dropped. Okay, now the third thing is known as, let's say, fail. Okay, which is like expect or fail. So as soon as the pipeline sees some bad records, it will fail the pipeline itself, it will not continue. Okay, so these three actions are available out of the box in the DLT. You don't have to write your own custom code or anything. Okay, so let's quickly switch over to the notebook and see how we can actually use it. Okay, and one more thing, right, here I'm talking about one of the expectation, right? What if you have more expectations, right? Maybe many. So you can write like expect all or drop, expect all or fail. So you just have to use all word. Okay, all keyword, expect all. Okay, so if you are dealing with multiple expectations, use this. If you are dealing with a single expectation, use this. We'll see, we'll quickly see in the practical example. Okay, by practical example. So this is the notebook, and this is our streaming table. Now you know why it is streaming table. I already talked about it in the first session. And then again we have two more streaming tables available here. Okay, I can create the view actually, but just to showcase you like the data got dropped off or not, I wanted to create it as a table. Okay, we'll see even if we wanted to use the view as well. Okay, so these two tables are basically created on the basis of the bronze load. This is your bronze load. Okay, now if I run this, whatever data is in the bronze, it will come to this table 1 as well as the table 2. Okay, but I wanted to perform the data quality checks first. First, let me show you the data now. I have two files. I have actually four files. Okay, out of four files, two files has some bad records. So the day 3 and day 4, if you see, this day 3 has first column which has few null records, and day 2 has another column which has null records. Okay, and I have uploaded these files into the volume from where I am reading it. Okay, it's the bound point you can think of in the Azure ADLS, basically you can think. Okay, now I wanted to perform the data quality checks on top of it. So how to define it? You can write expect or drop. This is the action. Now the description. Validate. Let me copy the column name. Let's say description first. Validate description column for null values. And then I will specify the condition, right? So I will say description, sorry, I'll say description is not null. It should not be null, right? Move this. Okay, so this is my description. Oh, sorry, this is my condition. Okay, so description, condition, and action. This is how you can define your checks. And the second table has another check which is on the second column, name. Okay, now let's run the code. Okay, so the only change we did is we created one expectation on top of both the tables. Let's run it. Refresh. So what it will do is it will take the bronze table, and on top of the bronze table, based on the bronze table, it will create two different tables. And you see the flow chart, right? You will see how the data is flowing, right? Right? That is a feature in the DLT, right? Which was not there in the initial nodes. Okay, let me see quickly what happened. Expect or drop is not defined. Oh, my bad. So you cannot just directly write expect and drop. You have to use DLT. My bad. Sorry. So DLT dot expect and drop. Because it's the function of the DLT, right? So I have to use the DLT at the rate DLT. Did I use at the rate again? Sorry. Yes. And after this, we will see what if we wanted to use multiple expect conditions, right? We cannot just keep on writing these expectation one by one, one by one, right? So what we can do, we can create a rule. Okay, you can create a dictionary of rules, and you can pass that rule directly into this action. Okay, and that will take care of that particular piece, all those expectations basically. My bad. Again, it's a typo. So you see, you will get the error once you run the code pipeline as well. You can run it here as well, but the problem with me is the number of codes available in my subscription. It's very less, so I can only either run the pipeline or either I can run the notebook. But in the notebook, the problem is you will not be able to see the data load, right? And you cannot see it since it's a delta live table, as I have told you, right? So that's the reason I have to keep running this DLT pipelines. So you see, now it started loading the bronze table, and you will see the timestamp also. So 6 seconds it took, and it loaded all 38 records. And in the first table, it loaded only 36 because it's removed the two values or two records in which we have null. Okay, and here it removed the 5 records. Okay, and that's why it has 33. So 38 minus 5, 33, 38 minus 2, 36. Okay, in the similar way, what you can do, let's do it in another way. I will create a view, not the table. Okay, and I will perform my expectations here. Okay, you can write like this, but it doesn't make sense, right? Keep on writing like this, right? So what you can do, you can create a basically a you can say you can create a checks, okay, which you wanted to perform. Then you can define your checks as a list. Okay, so this is your first list. Let me copy this entirely, then we'll change it. Okay, remove it from here. You have to close the descriptions, and you can mention this is the value, okay, which you can define in a bracket. So in a similar way, you can create another check. Okay, and this time you are checking it for name. You can say name is not null. Okay, and that's it, your check is done. Now instead of writing it multiple times, you can simply say perform all the checks which are defined on the top. So this is my checks right here, and here I'm calling these checks. Okay, so all the rules are defined here, and here I'm calling them, right? You can define it in the same cell as well, it's up to you, right? But this is how I did it. Okay, you can do also, but there is one catch. Since you are doing it multiple checks, right? So what you need to use here is all. Expect all or drop. Okay, and this is a view. So on top of this view, what I'm doing, I'm creating a table this time, and let's say it's a static one. So what it will create, it will create a materialistic view, right? So this one streaming table, this one is view where you are performing all data quality, and then you are creating a materialized view basically. Okay, materialized view. So let's run it and see how it actually works. Okay, so now we will have three layers actually. First one, where you will be creating the streaming table. Okay, what happened? Is a streaming view and must be referenced from read stream. Okay, so basically we have okay, so it is already there, right? The last time when we ran it, it's already created a view. That's the reason it's giving an error. Okay, so if you see here, it's clearly saying this data quality table 1 is a streaming view. Okay, data quality, what was the error? Let's try to understand again. Data quality table 1. So I am reading data quality table as a streaming table, so it should be read as a streaming table only, read stream only. That's what it says. Okay, let's run it, and I will show you how, if you wanted to read it as a normal table, right, what you have to do. Okay, I'll show you, because I created a table here. So it's a streaming table, that's why it's asking me to create again, and that's the issue. Let me just change the name, maybe that will work. Let me just change the name. Okay, it will work then. Let's see. And I think even if I write read stream, right, and top of this if I write view, it will create a view only. That is fine actually. I did a mistake. Sorry, my bad. Let's see. Yes, it will say that you have to use read stream only, not read, because the source is read stream. Let's run it now. So it should now create both the tables. Let's quickly see. Yes. So if you see, we have created one view, then again view, and then, oh my bad, I have to create a table actually to showcase you like what happened, right? Now see, you don't be, you'll not be able to see what happened here internally, right? That's the issue. So I should have created it as a table. Okay, let's run it. I can delete this recording also, but I think it's let's better to keep it so that if you guys face this issue, you should know all these things, right? So I'll be keeping it. I'll not remove this. If you want, you can just increase the speed, okay, to watch it while watching it. It takes time to run. That is the only thing. You have to wait if you wanted to load the data. You just cannot go cell by cell and execute it the way we do in our native Spark code, right? That's one of the challenge I see here, or one of the limitation I see here. So if you see here, this is my streaming table, and again I have a streaming table, but in between I have a view, right? So what it view will do, it will delete the invalid records. So if you see here now in the final table, you will see that all the records are dropped, only 31 records are edit. So 5 from that table and 2 from another table, right? I meant to say another file. So if I go here, if you see, actually I didn't perform any check here. Check was performed in the view, right? But when I was querying this view, right, it performed all those operations and it give you the final result into this final table. So if you don't want it to persist the intermediate results, you should better go ahead and create these views. Okay. Now, I'll in the next lecture I will show you how you can create two different tables, okay? And one in which you can create your valid records and the one in which you can create invalid record, right? Because as of now you just dropped it, right? You cannot, you didn't store it, right? And one more thing before going further, if you use fail, right, fail, right? It will simply fail your pipeline as soon as it will find the bad record. Okay, let's run that one also. So we generally use expect or drop, right? Yeah. So let's see this, and it should work now. And what it should do is it basically fail the pipeline as soon as it finds an expectations to be wrong, right? I mean, if it finds any error record or something, right? So let's see. So till bronze layer, it will load the data, and then after that, it will fail. See, you got the failure now. So if you run this, simply it will say it failed to write because of this statement. See, input cannot be returned from the violation of the output records. So you will get this failure now because you have written expect or failed, and you will have the result as well here. Okay, because of the violation of the DQ checks, it got failed. So this is how you can use the expectations in the DLT. In the next video, I will show you how you can segregate those records and store it in different tables, which will help you uh, for your auditing purpose, right? So thanks for watching this video. Thank you.